What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be changing the oil and filter on a 2001 Toyota Highlander. Normally I change the PCV valve, often on these. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be changing the oil and filter on a 2001 Toyota Highlander. Normally I change the PCV valve, often on these, because sometimes, on these vehicles they get stuck, and if your PCV valve gets stuck on these, it tends to burn oil. So if you got a vehicle, or if you got a Toyota Highlander and you notice that when you go on long drives, like out of town or long trips, you kind of burn like a quart or maybe two of oil, but you don't have no leaks. A lot of times that come from the PCV valve being stuck open. And this is right here in the back, but I already changed that. Take some pliers or some needle nose, clamp that, and then take a open face wrench and just screw that out and then put it back in there. It's real simple, but I'm not gonna change that because I already changed that. That's new. So I'm just gonna be doing the oil and filter on here. Now, normally I don't really use synthetic oil because I just use conventional oil. That's good enough for me because I change my oil often. But on this vehicle, it always had used full synthetic. And if you do know anything about the Toyota Highlander, like on its history, these engines was like going out because they would sludge up real bad. And Toyota was having to replace these engines, because people were saying, hey, I changed my oil regularly and it would sludge up. So on this one, I just stick to the full synthetic. Normally I don't do it, but on this engine, with the high miles, the 200-some thousand miles, I just stick to the full synthetic. Because when I first got it, the guy that I bought it from, he always used synthetic. So I tend to try to use what the person, if I buy a used vehicle and that person kept up with maintenance and you see that they have no leaks and it's everything pretty clean, I try to stick with their maintenance schedule. Even though I know mine's is different, I just try to do that. It's a lot better for me. So, and me honestly, I would just, you really don't have to do full synthetic. Just change your oil regularly. Like a lot of people say, you can go, you don't have to change it every 3,000 miles. I mean, if you use a conventional oil, try to change it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. And then with synthetic oil, I would go every 5,000, maybe to 7,500, even up to 10,000 miles. But I see people be going like 15,000 miles, 20,000 miles. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as that off the synthetic. I know oil has improved a lot over the years, but just check your oil. I mean, when you get out, like I do every oil change, I check my oil, to make sure, like, you don't smell it burning. You can see the sludge. Make sure it ain't low. Keep it full. Because like I said, I'd rather change my oil too much than to buy an engine. Oil is cheap, engines are not. So I just stick with that rule. So anyway, we're gonna get to changing this oil. Obviously I got the oil, the filter, and then I got a 14mm socket and ratchet. So, and another thing, I normally get the extended performance up to 20,000 miles filter, because I don't change my filter every oil change, especially on a vehicle that's the oil filter like difficult to get to. I just use that filter and I maybe change it every second or third oil change, because it's supposed to be up to 20,000 miles. Because normally when I change my oil, I don't wait till it get black and nasty and You know, so I just, if I change it every 5,000 miles, I might leave that filter on there for 2 or 3 oil changes, because it don't make no sense. I've been doing that for a long time with the Mobil 1 20,000 mile oil filter, and it works. Like I said, especially in a vehicle that you know that burns oil or is hard to get to, you might want to use one of those. But on this one, it's not too difficult to get to. And matter of fact, on this vehicle, it's high enough where I don't even have to use jack stands. That's why I like this vehicle. You don't have to use jack stands to change the oil. And the oil filter, if you look, the oil filter is right here. Right behind the manifold where I can reach it with my hands. Like I said, as long as you hand tighten it, you don't pretty much, you know, have to do all that moving stuff. It's easy to get to. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this oil change. I'm gonna go get the pan so I can lay it up under here and take that drain plug off and drain the take the drain plug off to drain the oil. But before you do that, you want to take the oil top off before you drain the oil, because it makes it come out a lot easier. You know, it come out fast and easy when you take the top off, and then you don't make a mess. So let's get to that. All right, guys, so like I said, you can jack this vehicle up if you want to, but I don't need to, because I mean, I got pretty much long arms, and like, I just slapped the pan. First let me see. See that right there? I never over tighten it, because if you I know a lot of times people over tighten this, and when you over tighten it, then you have to jack it up to take it off, because you can't do it. You need to actually put a bigger breaker bar or something on there to get it off, or you need to have leverage. But if you don't put it on that tight, look at this. See that? Come off real easy. Real easy, simple. Like a lot of times, an oil change can be 10 minutes, or sometimes it can be a couple hours, depending on up to the person that do the oil change. Like if you pay attention and just do stuff the right way, and just don't overdo it, you know, it'll be easy to get off. Loosen it up a little bit more. I know I'm supposed to be should be wearing gloves, but man, I gotta go in the house, get them gloves, and by the time I do that, and it look like it's about to rain, I'm just trying to get this done. All right. Push this pan back a little bit. See that oil flowing? That's actually a good thing. The oil is a little dark, but that don't mean that it was bad, you know. But I'm just glad to see the oil pouring, because on these vehicles, I done seen people change the oil and it come out slushy, like in chunks. But as you can see, it's pouring out nice and smooth. And I'm gonna let this sit for like 5 minutes while I go in the house and probably make me a bowl of cereal or something. Wash my hand, make me a bowl of cereal. And then by that time, it finished draining. And then I come back out. Then I take the filter off. And then we'll put the drain plug and stuff back on. And then we'll fill it up with oil. All right, guys, see you in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back from my little cereal break. And if you guys are cereal eaters, try them frosted Rice Krispies. I love them things. They just hard to find sometimes, so I have to go to Walmart and get them. But they good. Yeah, now on the filter part right here, like on these, I know like some people, they take that plastic, they take the piece off the bottom to go in to get this to change the oil filter, but if you look right here, I could just stick my hand up under here, or one hand, and untighten it like that. You see that? Let's see if we could focus in on that. See that? See, that's why I like to hand tighten my stuff, so it'd be easier to change the next time. Because if somebody over tighten that with a wrench, then I won't be able to do it from the top. You know, because then you'll be trying to push it hard to take it off with your hands and slip or cut your arm or something. But yeah, let me pull this pan back and let this oil drip. It's dripping down that dog. Hold on. As you can see, guys, it's dripping. Turn the oil filter, let it drip down some before I take it off. And then we go get the well, actually, I gotta put the drain bolt back in after I take the filter off. Just gonna let it drip out. I could have put the drain bolt back first, then put the filter, but I'm gonna put the drain bolt back in after I put the filter on, so I can get up under there and wipe the make sure I just wipe the oil off if there's any dripped on like plastic pieces or the metal pieces. I don't have to, but you know. All right, guys, let me take this oil filter all the way off. All right, guys, this is the old oil filter. Yeah, Wicks make pretty good filters too, and it's not too expensive, but they make some good filters. So let me get ready to get this filter up out. Oh yeah, guys, and when you take these oil filters off, make sure that there's no ring left. This right here, this rubber gasket, make sure that it's not stuck. It's not stuck on there, because if you put that one on there with that and the seal off the old oil filter stuck on there, and when you go to tighten it up, you probably will get a leak. So just make sure that there's no seal from the old oil filter left on there before you put it on there. All right, now let me wipe my hands off so I can get a good grip on the oil filter. All right, guys, this is the new filter. Now, normally when I put the filter on there, I just rub a little oil around here, then rub around a little bit around the seal. But you really don't have to rub it around here because it's oil on there from the other one. Just rub it around the seal, so to make a good seal when you tighten it up. I'm gonna need to put the camera down because I gotta stick my hand into this this new oil bottle to get a little oil out to rub it around the seal. Then I'll show you guys. Yeah, okay, guys. This all you gotta do is just rub a little bit around there, so it won't be dry. Just spin a little bit around there. Yeah, normally like when it's mounted straight up, the filter mounted straight up and down, I would normally fill the oil filter with oil before I put it on there. But it's mounted sideways, so it don't make no sense putting oil in there. So, because when I go to mount it, that's gonna come back out. So, and plus it's not gonna be hard with no dry start anyway, because the oil filter gonna fill up pretty quick anyway. So you don't got to worry about that. So let me put this oil filter back on, and then, bam. And remember, guys, when you put the oil filter on there, just hand tighten it. A lot of people be putting the wrench on there and they be over tighten it. Just make sure it's on there. And then you put this down, put two hands on that so I can just tighten it up a little bit without over tightening it. Put this camera down for a second. All right, guys, I put the tighten the filter up on there. I put the drain plug back. And remember, when you put your drain plug back, if you want to do it by the book, you can take a torque wrench and tighten it up, torque it to specs. But what I usually do, I just use a regular ratchet, put it on there, and tighten it up. Like I said, I've been doing it for years, no problem. But like I said, just because I'm, been doing it for years with no problem, don't make it right. So I advise you guys, if you want to, do it by the book, just use a torque wrench when you tighten your what's the name back up, your oil pan bolt. Tighten it back up. You can look up the specs for it and tighten it up to specs. But I'm normally just tighten stuff back up without over tightening. That's just me. But like I said, just because I do it that way don't mean it's the right way. And just because you haven't had any problems with it don't mean that that's the right thing to do. Just telling people who maybe be trying to do it for the first time, don't want to teach them no bad habits. But like I said, if you don't use a torque wrench, you do it the way I do it. Just don't over tighten nothing. Like, even if you decide to use a filter wrench for your oil filter and you tighten it up, don't over tighten it. I usually just hand tighten the filter and then tighten the oil drain pan bolt back up with just like a regular socket and ratchet. So yeah, we're gonna get ready to pour this oil up in here. And I noticed, the caps say 5W30. So I advise you guys, if you want to stick to your owner manual, to go back with 5W30. But as it get up in high mileage, I like to put a little bit thicker oil in there. 10W30. On some vehicles, I even use my 10W40. So, but again, that's up to you. You can use what the manual say, but I'm gonna use 10W30 because it's my vehicle, and basically I can do what I want. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna pour this up in here. I know some vehicles, like some of these Toyota Highlanders, got take. If you look at the engine code, it takes I believe 4 quarts, and then some of them take 5 quarts, and this one right here take 5 quarts. But I always just like pour like 4 quarts, a little bit over 4 quarts, just to start it up and make sure and check. Because believe it or not, some vehicles, if you just for instance go on a blog site and you look at some vehicles, you'll see some of them arguing about how much oil did it take this and that. It got a lot to do with it. Your car could be slanted. Some vehicles, nothing's perfect. Nothing's gonna keep taking the same thing. Like I said, when I start alarms on vehicles, I can do 10 vehicles the same way, and you're gonna have maybe 1 or 2 of them with different wire colors, where the wire supposed to be, or the wire could be in a different location. Stuff do happens. It could have went back to the manufacturer, and they could have decided to put a different part or something else on it to get it going, or just didn't have that color wire that day and use something else. You never know. So it is possible. Nothing's perfect, especially being man-made. Nothing's perfect. No 2 vehicles are the same, even though they could be the same year. So one person can have, it's doing this, and another person like, no, mine's fine. Or something. I done had vehicles where the bolts was different size, and they both claim to be original, like nobody touched it. But a lot of these cars vehicles go back to the dealer, and the dealer can put different bolt sizes on it too. It's just not alley mechanics. Dealers do it too. So just be aware of that. But like I said, if you want to go by the book, torque the oil pan, the bolt. You can torque it and then go by the owner manual with the oil 5W30. But like I said, it's got high miles on it, so I'm going 10W30. And sometimes I will do 10W40. As it get up in miles. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys. As you can see, I poured like a little bit over 4 quarts in there. Just a little bit over 4 quarts. I'm gonna start it up, let the oil filter fill up. Then I'm gonna check the oil, and then I'm gonna fill it up as needed until you get to the full line. All right, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. I'm gonna start it up for a few minutes. You don't have to leave it running that long, for about only a couple minutes to let the oil filter fill up. Then we're gonna check it. All right. All right, guys, let's check. Stick that back in there. Check the oil. As you can see, it's not up to that second dot yet, so it's gonna have to pour the rest of the oil in. All right, good. Check the oil now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's up to the second notch. It's full. Perfect. Perfect. So that's done. And that'll be it, guys. That's how you change the oil and filter on a 2001 Toyota Highlander. See you guys on the next video. I'm out.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.